All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have heard of Reddit, then maybe you guys have heard of this. But basically, there's a subreddit called r/Antiwork, and basically, Antiwork is about people who feel like their talents are being wasted or they aren't being paid fairly. I mean, of course, we all want to get more money, and people that just basically feel like the working system, at least maybe in America, I don't know about other places, but at least the working system we have in place is unfair. And the backstory goes is that all the subreddits, or not, I'm sorry, all the mods in the subreddit said that they're not going to do interviews, and this guy just ruins it for basically this. So this interview is so bad. I haven't seen it actually because I've been at work, but just judging from the comments, this interview has been so bad. The whole subreddit, the whole Antiwork subreddit has been shut down. It's crazy. So I'm gonna react to this and give you guys my thoughts as they come to me, and hopefully it's not as cringe as everybody's saying, but I guarantee you I'll be proven incorrect. So let's do it.
Like a good work day. How many hours is a solid work
Why does it
day
keep pausing?
in your ideal
Right.
society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 20-25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And
So, okay, for those of you that don't know me, I work 40 hours a week. I've got a pretty good job actually. I work 40 hours a week. So, just looking at this guy already, I'm already like, okay, looks like you haven't taken a shower in a hot minute. This guy on the left here, look at him as he speaks the entire time. He's so smug, but because you've by doing this interview, you've fallen right into his trap card. So that I'm already concerned. Like this guy just looks like the guy on the right looks like he doesn't work at all. So Doreen, I guess that's his name. The guy on the right just looks like he doesn't work at all, which is all already cause for concern.
what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker.
Walks dogs for 25 hours a week.
And how
Yeah. So
how
I
old
find a
are
lot
you,
of
if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30.
30
Okay.
walks dogs.
And is there something you
25
want
hours
to
a
do
week.
besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to,
Teach.
work with people. And
He's
stuff like
smiling.
that.
Look at
What
him.
would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly, just
Philosophy.
introduction to philosophy, critical thinking,
Oh,
reason,
boy.
stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would
jeez.
just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not
Yeah,
everything's free.
Stand still.
But it is a free
Golly.
country. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We got to run. We got to pay the bills.
That we gotta pay the bills. I'm fucking weak. He didn't have to say all that. All right, let me go to YouTube real quick. r/Antiwork Fox News, and I need to see the full thing. Is there a full thing?
Over 1.6 million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford. All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah. So this is
Once
a
again,
concept
stand
about
still.
movement.
You're fucking
So
back and
we're
forth,
a
fidgeting
movement
shit.
where
Like, come
we
on.
want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do, and so we want to still put in effort. We want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You just quoted from Office Space, where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that. There's varying.
So
opinions on the-
so Doreen, but you're not being forced to work. This isn't this isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job, you've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think.
So my thing is, when you come to a Fox News, one of the biggest news programs in the world, or at least in America. I don't know about in the world. That's probably ignorant of me to say. But one of the biggest news programs in America, dressed like that, like, I'm not trying to turn this into a roast session, but if you're going to represent r/Antiwork, you gotta show up like looking the part. Like, at least comb your hair, my guy. Like, at least comb your hair. Because when you're dressed like that, people his age and people, boomers and anybody who spends too much of their time watching the news, they're going to judge you. They're going to be like, oh, you're just lazy, just like as the host said, Jesse Waters, I think that's his name.
I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
what do you think is like a good work day? How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
He's still trying not to smile.
I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 20-25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how?
So
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Once again, I would love
Sure,
to
30.
walk
You're
dogs
30.
for 25 hours a week.
And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals.
They are.
But I would love to teach. I would love to
His reaction.
Work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly.
Philosophy.
Just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class,
Damn.
Doreen. I would just
That's just
be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the
Is that
greatest
the end of
idea,
it?
but
Yeah, okay. God. It was only 3 minutes, but golly, like that's just rough, Like, at least come looking the part, like comb your hair, put on something nice. Like, I know I'm not looking nice right now, but that's because I just got off of work. I mean, I work from home, but like I'm just commenting and stuff. But if I'm gonna be in an interview of any kind, I'm gonna look at least somewhat dressed the part, and I'm not gonna be fucking moving back and forth like Doreen was. But if you look at the comments, average Reddit mod appearance. That's funny. It's actually starting to make sense now. Everyone's opinions here are weird. The internet evens the playing field between idiots and non-idiots. In real life, no one would care what this mess of a person's opinion is, but since it's the internet, they gather with other idiots and become a mod and get an international interview. Meanwhile, the nurses working 14-hour shifts might get a mention on a shitty local TV channel. I feel that. Let's see. Why did this mod decide to go on Fox News? There was, they have a thread about it over on their sub, which they locked. The mod claims to be autistic and nervous despite doing plenty of interviews in the past. The average Reddit mod. Oh, Doreen. Not Doreen. This is definitely not me. That's funny. For those of you that can't see, the username is not Doreen. Alrighty. They're all complaining about Fox making them look bad. Motherfucker, you went on national television looking like a stereotype of someone who lives in their mom's basement. Didn't it occur to you to at least shower, comb your hair, or get dressed? Or at least pretend to not be a total lazy piece of shit when you know you're going to be on TV seen by millions? That's what I was saying. Like, I didn't go as in-depth and as crude as the commenter here, Derpy Dumbass, says, but that's what my main issue with this was. It's like, at least try to look presentable, you know? Like, try to look nice. I remember reading about these requests for media interviews a few months ago, and I grinned ear to ear knowing they turn out just like this. It's almost like they want to lose all legitimacy. And I'm actually in this sub. Well, I was until it was nuked. And excuse me, I was until it was nuked, because they shut down the sub. No one can post anything about the sub. Like, Antiwork is fucking gone. But I was in the sub, and I don't remember seeing any interview requests. But from what I read earlier, the mods decided we're not going to do any interview request, and this guy goes on here and fucks it up. Local man uses his autism as an excuse to go on TV anyway, even though the sub voted not to. Okay, I guess that was crossed out. Edit. Not exactly. He only mentioned autism once in response to being told he should look at the camera more. He was asked specifically, and the mod agreed he should be the one, because he's done other media before, whatever that means. Still a bad fucking idea on behalf of him, as well as the entire mod team, for arrogantly allowing any one of them to go and drop spaghetti in front of experienced, professional, bad faith actors on national TV, autistic or not. I nuked these edits because it was a mess, and this is not supposed to be a thread about what. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. Holy fuck, this is so hard to watch. LMAO. It was pretty cringe. Like, that was pretty bad. It's been a while since we had some real cringe in this sub, and for those of you that don't know, I am on the sub Cringe-topia. So that's how you know this is bad, when someone goes, it's been a while since we've had some real cringe on this sub. This is an absolute disaster for whatever r/Antiwork is trying to be, and when you open r/Antiwork, it is a private community. I have only posted once in r/Antiwork, and okay, we're closed. We'll be closed while we deal with the cleanup from the ongoing brigading. We'll be back soon. You don't need a request to join. We'll be back real soon, I promise. Okay. I don't know how much brigading is going on, but I feel like the brigading going on is at least somewhat just, in my opinion, because of the massive screw up that the longest mod of r/Antiwork did the other day. I guess yesterday. At least that's when the video was uploaded. Oh man, don't bring a mod into the light. That's the funny thing. They keep talking about how this guy just looks like a stereotypical mod, which goes on to what I was saying earlier. Like, at least look the part. Like, comb your hair. Do something. There was a new sub. Let me sort by new. Maybe I'll be able to find the new sub. Oops. Oh, it was an update. Okay. Let's look at this. So apparently they're banning whoever posted this, but so the plot thickens. The person who is the mod of what's the word I'm trying to think? r/Antiwork apparently is a rapist. Let me move my camera real quick. The person accusing me of serial rape and I were involved in sexual conduct. The scenario involved alcohol on their part, but I had been informed multiple times that it wasn't a big deal. They said that they were only tipsy and that they were consenting to what was happening. I took them at their word, and I will be more responsible in the future when it comes to alcohol and sex. I am unaware of who I have allegedly raped. Oh, jeez. Besides the person making the accusation, and the only person I can think of is a previous partner. I'll put their details in the comments. I take consent very seriously. I have a list of behaviors related to cuddling that I've been using for only a year. I'm trying my best to be, I guess I can't click more. Won't be able to see right there. But in the next little screen, trigger warning, abuse. I wrote this a long time ago in case the situation ever happens again. Sadly, here it is. I strive to be open and honest. To those who are close to me can verify that I exude those qualities more than any other. It's in that spirit that I have made public certain past events within my life. If you feel as though you may not be able to deal with the heavy content right now, I recommend avoiding this post. I want to discuss a history I have with someone that I used to know. This person with whom I have ongoing sexual relationship and living arrangement. Eventually, a mix of fundamentally incompatible needs, past trauma unrelated to me, and my issues with impulsive control results in a very unhealthy dynamic between us. Due to my dislike of call-out culture, this person will remain anonymous. I apologize for those that find my reading comprehension annoying. Anyone who knows this is advised against contacting this person. This individual has had past trauma from previous relationships that cause emotional and physical distance between us over the course of months. This led to my needs going unmet, which led to masturbation as an unhealthy coping mechanism. I mean, we all beat our meat. Like, I feel like as long as you don't do it like 15 times a fucking day, like, beat your meat once a day. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But I digress. After months of me trying to keep myself in check, I began sporadically masturbating while they slept next to me or by themselves. Even though they stated this made them feel uncomfortable, these events continued to happen until I sought help through therapy. Okay, so therein lies the issue. When you're beating your meat or masturbating, as they put it, next to a person while they sleep, that's fucking creepy. Like, that's an issue. So I can see where this is becoming an issue now. Alrighty? Let's continue. I had woken up one morning with them laying next to me, remembering they had felt uncomfortable with me masturbating next to them while they slept. I placed their hand over my boxers. They moved their hand away, and I don't know what that fucking thing is. And moved their hand away, and I thought nothing. Okay, I'm switching between screens. And I thought nothing at what happened and fell back asleep. They later woke up and mentioned that they had had a nightmare involving the series of events. I admitted that it had happened, apologized, and explained that I was half asleep and was not in full control of my actions. I feel like that's definitely cap. I mean, I don't know, maybe I guess everybody's different, but I have a very hard time, at least while I've slept next to people, I don't think I've ever, like, consciously done something that I know they feel is unconscious. Like, I've snuggled closer to somebody, but then again, like, I've never done things in a creepy manner as I'm laying next to somebody. Anyway, let's go to this third little slide here. Lastly, the previous mentioned coping mechanism resulted in this person creating alarms for us so we wouldn't fall asleep together, and thus boundary violations would be diminished. So if someone has to put up alarms just so you wouldn't sleep next to them, I feel like you're just a straight up creep. But that's just me. Much to my retrospective disgust, my desperation for emotional intimacy led me to shut off the alarms at various points. Okay, so you're a rapist. All right, so there we go. You are a rapist. When I learned how much these harmed this person, I soon went to therapy. Thereafter, I was able to better cope with my impulsive tendencies and thus consistently respect their boundaries. Resulting from my remorse, I made a financial contribution to the organization dedicated to helping people in alternative but abusive relationships. There was discussion between me and this individual for helping with my therapy cost. However, given my economic status and their insurance covers, we decided against that. Against it, I'm sorry. It's just got that little icon. But I'm guessing that economic status means I walk dogs 24 hours a week, or 20 to 25 hours a week. So because I walk dogs and can't make a whole lot of money, I will not, I guess we'll decide against you helping me with my insurance cost. As well, I've used that unhealthy dynamic as let me just go to my other screen, as a way to improve myself. My relationships since this have been healthy and mutually beneficial as a result. Okay. These events led me to suffer from several symptoms of PTSD, sporadic suicidal ideation, and self-esteem loss. I've done my best to heal by privately talking to multiple friends about this, but I think I need to do more than that. Throughout my life, I have striven to be respectful and a compassionate person. That means that when others are clear about their boundaries, I want to be sensitive to and respectful to them. And that if I discover after the fact I violated someone's boundaries, I want to apologize and make amends, as I have tried to do for this individual. Even so, in this case and in the context of the ongoing sexual relationship, I engaged in behavior that, because of this person's history, pushed very sensitive buttons related to prior trauma. I am embarrassed and regretful that even after learning how much it harmed them, I still engaged in after the fact. I do not know what coming forward with this information will do, but I hope everyone can still trust me to do what is right and hold myself responsible and accountable when I make mistakes, as well as I hope people I realize that I looks like that's cut off. The only comments I'll be accepting on this thread are clarifying comments and constructive criticisms that are coming from a good supportive place, shaming me in an attempt to show you that my actions are both unproductive and unnecessary, as I am well aware of my actions and their lack of morality. I am sorry for any harm this information causes those close to me. This was posted yesterday. Don't know if that was like yesterday, like actual yesterday, or if that's where the screenshots were taken. But I'm guessing this is an older post because people were talking about how why hasn't Antiwork been aware of this, and I guess it was because they banned this person posts 100 times a day for like 10 years. They're amongst the most acting and active mods of Antiwork. This is a typical Reddit monitor. Okay. I've allegedly raped. This is why you gatekeep. More specifically, you gatekeep the gatekeepers. Okay, I guess anybody. Oh, okay. This is a while ago. This appeared on a 2020 article. So, at the very least 2 years ago. I found it. Work reform. Alrighty. This post responsible for shutting down r/antiwork. I took a screenshot about 15 minutes ago. There were over 100 awards approximately an hour ago. Now r/antiwork is gone. Let me fucking bring my face cam back. I apologize. You get to see my ugly face. There we go. Sorry doesn't cut it. Mods are not leaders of this sub. Moderation team are not content creators, are not developers of the video game we're working on, and are not authors of some of the book that we are all reading. You have no power here. You can modify comments, you can delete threads, and that is the extent of your power that you hold as a moderator. That is not said to attack you, but that it is said to remind you that you have no influence over this sub, and that you are having influence. And that if you are having influence over the sub, then something is immensely wrong. I can't believe how painfully ironic it is. You have some authority and you extend it incorrectly, and that you immediately refuse to acknowledge it or correct it on the sub, which you literally dedicated to holding those who do exactly what you did accountable. How can you possibly be that blind and to this painful irony? That makes sense. Like, so basically, for those that can't stand my horrible reading comprehension, I apologize. It's that I have Invisalign, so it's sometimes it's hard to speak, so I do apologize. But basically, they're just calling the mod team out on their bullshit. Like, if a moderator is the most popular person on a sub, then something is wrong, you know? And I agree with the person that posted this. I'll do the interview by myself. He might ask me hard questions. I won't be prepared. I'm a dog walker, so people are just clowning. I couldn't find it, but when I saw the when this sub was like originally made, the top post on there was hey, would you like to accept an interview for something something something, and the comment was no. So the response was no. So basically, for those of you that don't know me, I have a really good paying job. I work between just regular hours. I would say about 45-ish a week, which is fine with me. Like, I work from home. I work on a computer without giving too much about myself. So I have no problem with my job. Like, don't get me wrong. I would definitely like to be paid more. I mean, that's everybody. My issue with the whole anti-work, at least for my personal thing, is like I live in Colorado and it's very expensive to live in Colorado at the moment, and I'm definitely trying to get out. But that's my only thing, is like I would, like, at my wages, if I was living somewhere else, I would be chilling, you know? But with living in Colorado, it's kind of expensive, but it is what it is, you know? Just to wrap things up, I feel like, once again, this person should have been more prepared. If you're going on an interview on a fucking news station, my guy, you definitely need to be a little bit more prepared. And now you are seeing the consequences of making a fool of yourself on live television. But yeah, what do you guys think? Thanks for listening to my annoying voice and my shitty reading comprehension. Once again, I got the Invisalign, so it makes when I talk a lot, like my mouth dries up, and it's my reading comprehension, I stutter sometimes, so that's just the Invisalign, so I do apologize. But thanks for listening to me. I hope you guys have a very blessed evening, and peace!